database is running. Right, so as you can see the waiting for connection here, that means the database is running. So you're able to do the next step to start the server. So we're going to open a new terminal here to do the Node.js server. Right, so server side is running. Also, we do the we're gonna do it on the same page. We're gonna do it on the right, do the npm start to start the client side. Right, remember the server side, client side, they all separated. The server side is the part where you're able to send out a request to it, and the server going to give a response. And the client side, we're using the React library, and it's hosting your website on localhost 3000 and showing the user interfaces. Right, so I have the page loading. Should be ready in 1 minute. Right, so here is our login page, and I think everything is working right now. Let's try it. So if we log in as Alice, it should bring us to the Alice website, his profile, right? So that's the Alice profile, so everything is working. But let's try to log in with the wrong password, right? Let's try username Alice and the password, just randomly type something. If I click on login here, you can see there's an alert pop up, right? I have to click on it to close it, otherwise I cannot do anything. That is not the best practice. User won't like it. So we're going to make it easier for them. So instead of use alert here, how about we just put a kind of like a block between the form and the login, and we only display that block when the username and password are matched. When we receive a response from server saying you have an invalid information, we only show that block when that happens. And when the user starts typing a new password, we just hide it, right? Show and hide.
So different type of alert.
Yeah, let's try it. So let's go to our code. Let's go to the.
And before you continue, could we put a quick microphone?
Okay, sure, yeah.
Say your name really quick. Shiyu? Okay, you're good.
Good. Okay, let's continue. Right. So here is the code we have for the login page. We have our state. We have username and password in the state. We have onChange and onSubmit. So the one we are going to change is the onSubmit and the login function. So these two functions are connected. So according to our code here, if we submit our form, right, onSubmit. So when the form is submitted, we are calling the function onSubmit. It's a line 18 here, right, onSubmit. And it's going to grab the username and the password from the state, and sending them to the server side. Right. Actually, in here, it's going to grab the username and password from state, right, create a user object, and then we're calling the login function and passing the object as a parameter. So it's checking the login function here. This function here is the code we send out a request to our server. And once the server receives your request, it's going to check in the information from database, if the user is correct or not, if the username and password is correct or not, and then we have a response from the server side. And here is this if case checking. So we're checking if the result data, that means there is data coming back in the response. So we know we have the user information inside the database, so we can go ahead to navigate the user to the profile. Otherwise, we show alert. Right. So here is alert, and we are going to right now. It's just using the browser's its own alert, but we know it's kind of annoying. You have to click it to close it. And instead of doing that, let's comment this out for now. So let's create a block, a container, kind of like a container in between the login and the form. Let's put let's say a div here. Let's put a div here. Right, in the div we have some text in invalid credential. Right, invalid credential. Let's say just say your username and password doesn't match in our record. Let's say your username and password doesn't match. You don't match. Don't match. Right, something like that. And it's going to show that text in our page here. Your username and password doesn't match. And it's also adding some CSS to it to make it look more visible, right? So we can, since we're using Bootstrap, Bootstrap actually have a alert class. So if you say class is equal to alert, and we can also say alert danger, gonna make it red. As you can know, we have alert danger, alert success, the different colors. And because this is kind of like an arrow, so we're gonna be making it red, and it will look like this. All right, username and password don't match. See that? All right, so let me move that down a little bit, so the code is here. Right.
Shouldn't be class name.
The class, yeah, it's class name. Yeah, you're correct. So because we're using React, so instead of class, we should say class name. Yep, that is correct. And if you, in some cases, missing any of the class, you're gonna find it in your console. So you should open your console here, checking if they have any error inside here. It's gonna tell you you have a class here, and it's supposed to be class name instead of class. All right. Okay, so we just created this div, and it's gonna show you there forever, because we didn't tell it when to hide it, when to show it. It's gonna always show you that there. That's obviously that's not correct. So we only show this message when the username and password doesn't match, right? So let's go ahead to change it a little bit. Well, we are going to have another state to manage its show or hide. Let's see this. Let's create a state called it show alert. Right, show alert. The state name is called show alert. I'm going to make it false by default. That's going to be boolean, either false or true. Right. So now we can check. If show alert is true, we show that. If show alert is false, we hide it. And whenever we receive a response from the server, we're checking if there's data inside it. If there's data inside it, we change the show alert into true. Then the message pop up. Otherwise, it's just going to be hiding. Let's try it. Connecting the things together right now. So we have show alert here. So the first thing we want to change is in the login. If we reach the data, that means everything is working. We don't have to do anything. But if there's no data in the response, we're gonna show the alert. So we're gonna say this. Remember, the state is immutable. You cannot directly change it. You have to using state to change it, right? So this is the state. We have show alert. Change that into true. Right. So if there's no data coming back from server, we know there's something wrong. We just show the alert. All right. But yeah, right now we are changing the state. But how does React knows like when the show state equal to false? We need to hiding that message. So inside here, remember we are using JSX, so we can directly put some logic in the HTML code we write here. Right here, that's div form. Let's adding a curly brace around it. That means we are trying to using some JavaScript code here, right? Put a curly brace around the outside of the div message, and here we can see we can using some if cases here, checking if this the state, the show alert is true, then we show that. Otherwise, we show null. Right? Let's see how we do it. So we have if this the state, the show alert. Right? This is a variable created in the state, right? In the state here, show alert. If this variable is true, and then curly brace, actually outside of the parenthesis, curly brace, we put the Steve there. I think we also need a parenthesis outside of it, and maybe also need a return here. I think return that. I need another curly brace. If this state is show alert, what's wrong with it? Expression expected. Let's using ternary operator here. It's actually a better syntax. I think it's kind of like a hard to organize. So if this is true, question mark, then we show this, and otherwise we show null. Right, ternary operator. That's what we learned from the JavaScript. Right. So if this is the state, the show alert is true, we display this div. Otherwise, we just display a null there. Right, let's try to see if that works. So save the file and go back to the website we have here. You can see the alert is disappeared because the show alert, that parameter, that variable is forced by default. That is forced by default. And let's try to type wrong username and password here. Like random type something, and when I hit login, it's going to send a request to the server, and server going to give back a response. If we have the data in the response, and nothing wrong gonna happen, it's just gonna navigate us to the profile page. So we do not care about the alert anymore in this page. But if there's no data in the response, the show alert will be changed into true, and I think the alert message will pop up. So let's hit on login, and you can see the message come up. Right, and the user can just go ahead and keep trying it. It won't influence anything. Right, and also there's another thing we can do. Like when the user starts typing, we can hide that alert. Right? We don't need to still show it like forever. When users start typing, that means okay, they know what's wrong with it. They're gonna try it again. Then let's hide that message again. So let's go to the as unchanged. Right, unchanged is a function that when the users change their input. So let's do unchanged here. So when they start typing, I want to set state either target name equal to either target value. Also, we want to change the show alert back into false. Right, so we can just say show alert back into false. So just change it from true back to the false. So it's going to be, it's going to tell the React, okay, I changed your alert, I changed the state. You need to re-render the page. Right, let's try it again. So here, let's type something random and login, and the alert is showing. And if I start typing, let's say if I change the username, it's just gone. Right, it's a better user experience in this way. And we can do it the same way for the register, and same way when we update our profile. Right, we can add the same thing to the register. Let's try it again. All right, let's try the whole process again, and I'll leave the profile part to yourself. Right, let's go to register. So in the register, if I type something random, it's going to tell me like two passwords don't match, and I have to click on the OK in the alert here. And let's rewrite this one to using the new alert we just learned. Let's try it again. So let's go to the register page. Right, it's the exactly same process. Register page, and let's go ahead ending that alert in the HTML part in the render function. So I have div here. inside it, we create our messages. The passwords you entered don't match. Please try it again, something like that. This is our first message. And remember, so in the register page, we actually have two kinds of errors. The first one is the two passwords don't match. But we also have another kind of error is username is taken. Right? If I already have an account called Alice and I want to register another Alice, it's going to tell me this username is taken. Please try another one. Right? So let's write both of them here. So that's the first one. Let's have another one here. The username is taken. Please try another one. Both divs are here right now, and this gives them the same classes. We give in the login classes class name equal to alert, alert danger, and same thing for next one. Class name alert, alert danger. All right, then we see two different errors showing there. You need to open the div tag and close it at the end, and put the classes and text in between. This one is not working. It's an error in the login. You can just comment it out for now, so you can see the result in the other pages. So that's this error. You can see there's a red box here. So you go down here. Yeah, that part. You just comment it out for now. Yeah, just go through it out. It's actually a fast way. So if you highlight the three lines here, and the control shift, control slash, or control and slash, yeah, they're all coming out. And when you want it back, just control slash it again. Okay. Yeah, save the file, and you should be able to see that again. Yep. So let's take a look how the register page looks like right now. All right. So if we go to the browser, here is our register page. I have two arrows on the top. Both of them should show you. Make sure we have the same page. Coming out, logging, then the register page will show up. Highlight it. So here yeah, so we're missing a character to close the login function. And so this one is closing the else.
I can't do that one out.
Yeah, so that's the issue. Bring that. Yeah. Should be able to see the page. Alright, let's keep going.
Thanks.
So here we have the two alerts showing, and let's remember we only want to show the correct errors when it's happened, right? Not show it always. Right, so let's go to the register file here. This time we have two different kinds of errors. That means we need two states to manage one for each other, right? One for each. So let's say we have a show username alert, which is starts from false, default is false, and we'll have show password alert. Two different. You can give it different names if you like. All right, then it has to be exactly same. You can just show user error, show password error, or show duplicate password error. It's just name doesn't matter, but you need to remember it. All right. So they all start from false by default. Right. So two alerts are created in our state. Remember, they are in the state. So we're going to decide. We're going to change that in the register function. The register function is a function where checking the password and the username. So here we have the passwords are not matched. We're going to comment it out. Instead of showing alert, we're just going to change the state. So you see this does set state, and we set state. This is for the password, right? Password are not matched. We're going to say password show password alert. Change that to true. Show password alert, change that to true. We're going to show the password alert. All right, and keep going to the next alert we have here is for the username is taken alert. Let's also rewrite this one. So we're going to do another set state. Show username alert. Make this one into true, right? So now if we have two passwords that don't match, they're going to show the password alert. And if the username is taken, the show username variable becomes true. That state becomes true. And now all we need to do is tell the React when the show username alert is true, we show the username alert. Otherwise, hide it. Right. So previously we used the ternary operator to do it. Actually, there is a shorter way to write it. If you just see here is the first alert for the username. This is for password. Sorry. Just add a parenthesis for it, and also add a curly brace outside of it. Inside the curly brace, you can just say this dot state dot show password alert, and that. You can use an and button. That means when the show password alert is true, then we show this message. Otherwise, we'll hide it. It's a shortcut for it. Right. So you don't have to say if this is true, show that. Otherwise, show else. You can just using and here to display that. Right. Let's do the same thing for the username alert. So we can add a curly brace around it. And then we'll do this state the show username alert and right. For this one, you may want to add a parentheses around the HTML code, otherwise may give you error. Right. So let me break that into two lines so you can see the whole process. Let's break that into two lines. Because the font size is too big. Let me see if I can make it smaller. Yeah, I'm gonna break it again, like this, so you can see it. You don't have to break it like that, because I'm doing that because my font size here is too big. Right, let's break them into two lines. Right, so you can see this one here is saying when the state show password alert, we need to choose. And we'll display that. This is just the view and the content inside it. And the alert here just like making the grid color. And same thing here. When the show username alert is true, we'll display the view. Alright? And yeah, so this whole process is also recorded. You can check the videos afterwards. Yeah. Very good. Well, let's try it. Make sure it's working. So right now, if I go back to my register page, I shouldn't be able to see any alert here. And then let's try something. Let's try to type some let's try type some random username and the password. The first password I enter here is just 1, 2, 3, 4, and the verified password is just randomly enter something. As soon as I click the register button, it shows the password you entered doesn't match. Don't match. Please try it again. And if I just rewrite it, change the username into Alice, password is like 123, password 123. Click register. It shows the username is taken. Please try it again. But it didn't hide in the first error I get in. Yeah, so we also need to hide in the first one. As soon as when we start to try to some other password or try to enter something new, we're gonna hide in the old errors, right? Just like the login page. So in the onSubmit, every time when I start to enter something, onSubmit here, we're gonna set both of them back to false. So show password alert back to false, show username alert back to false. Right? So try it again. If I enter some random username, password 111 222, it should give me an error. Password doesn't match. So register, password doesn't match. And when I start typing, it's just gone. And when I hit register, it shows me another error I get in here. Yeah, I mean the same error because I haven't changed the password. Same password right now, but username is taken. It's gonna show me the username is taken. Right. There's nothing new. Still, the old technologies. Just be creative here. Think about it. And that is not a really alert, but we're showing like alert. The user will understand it, and it's actually it's better, and also the experience for the user is better this way.
I thought we were supposed to be able to use the username multiple times as long as the password is different. I mean, what if Joe Smith from Arizona, Kentucky, and Arkansas want to sign into your website?
Well, the username is not like your human's name. So if we allow the user to have the same username, think about like in your database, the username is going to be the same. And it's going to be really hard to distinguish which one is which.
In the profile, you can have two Joe Smiths.
Yeah, the first name and last name can be the same.
Make up something.
Yeah, if they have the same username and password, and when you are administrator, you are trying to manage your application, and your boss asks you, okay, this user wants this account, they no longer want it, and his username is Alice, and you go to the database, there's 100 Alice there. Which one should I do? Username should be unique, just like an email should be unique, but the first name, last name, yeah, people have the same first name, same last name.
That's why a lot of websites say use your email.
Yeah. Like the M symbol. Well, I didn't ask you to create a username. You can just use your email to add a username. Yeah.
So are you going to get this to the point like if you put your name in, you try to create a username and you can't think of one, the system will assign one to you? We're not at that point yet, right?
Well, I don't think that is so useful right at this point. Right now, think about if I just assign you a username, and you need that username to log in. And I don't think that you're going to remember whatever they give you, right?
Yeah, there's some websites do that though. They'll assign you.
Yeah, I don't think that's the best practice.
And then you go in and change it.
Yeah, maybe the better idea is just allows you to log in with your email. That's not something.
That's one I've seen the most.
Yeah, like the M symbol you can log in with your email, right? And that's not something we're going to cover next week to how to sign in with your email. Let me see what else where you can talk about. Yeah, we're talking about alerts, and there's one thing I also want to check. For example, right now, if you're trying to register or log in, I didn't limit what the user can enter here. Maybe the username just have one character, just 111. That's kind of in most websites that's too short, right? We should give them limitation here, limit like the minimum length of the website, minimum length of username you put, minimum length of the password you put, and then when you try to log in, either like not just one character. For now, if you just leave them empty, you hit register, it's gonna work. Because I didn't require you to have a minimum distance here, length here. So actually, when you do the onSubmit, we actually need to add in more if cases. If the length of username is shorter than 6 characters, 5 characters, I just could show you alert. Your username is too short. Please try another one. Alright, saying that.
If we went into MongoDB right now,
Mhm.
ask for list of our users,
That's good.
we would see a blank.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not a good thing, right? We shouldn't allow you to have an end username.
Right, right.
Right, so let's do some checking here. So if you go to your register page here, right, we have unsubmit register. Here is our first one, if condition, to check if the password is matched or not. Before that, we actually can also check if the username is too short or password is too short. Let's try that here. Before the if cases, let's have more condition here. Checking, check username length, and we can also have check password length. So here we can if username the length. I think I can do that. Let's try it. Actually, let's console log it first. Let's see if we can console log the length of the username. Then we know if we can do that. Console.log username the length. Right. Let's see what we got here. Go to our application. Let's go back, log out here, register. So let's put username 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Should the distance length should be 7. Right. Let's hit register. I got a 7 here. Yeah, I can get a length of it, so I can just check it this way. Right. So inside here, I can just say if username the length is smaller than, let's say, 5 characters. Right. And then we can do, let's show error to them. Right, show error to them. So let's create another variable here. Right, create another alert. Let's say show username length alert. Make it false at start, and let's also have a show password length alert. Make that false. Right. So inside here, if the username length is too short, we can change that state back into true. This is the set state. Show username length alert true. Right. Same thing for the password.
How do you show the special characters?
Special character. Yeah, that's something we can do.
Who's wearing the wire?
Negative.
Oh, they had you wired, huh?
Right, so let's finish this one. If the username length is smaller than 5, we show that error. And if the password length is smaller than 5, let's copy this one to here. If the password length is smaller than 5, we show password length alert. Right, and we also need to create those 2 divs down here beside those 2 I have here. All right, let's create those 2. Let's copy the one that we have, copy the once, copy the twice. I'm gonna create 2 new ones here. So the first one is show username length alert. This one is saying username is too short. Please make it like a at least yeah, that's good. At least 6 characters. Yeah, and let's do it for the password as well. Copy that. Password. Say your password, your username, your password. Your password is too short. Please make it at least 6 characters. All right. Try it out. It should work. Give me a second. Yeah, sorry. So let's try it out here right now. So if I go to register page, and the username is empty right now. If I click register, it still allows me to go in. No, it should stop me right there. It should stop me right there, which is going to need to be a return here. Remember, return gonna stop the function. Let's put a return inside here. Return, just stop the function. Do not keep going. That's just like the return we had for the other if cases here. I have a return here. That stops the function. Try it again. Register. Your username is too short. Please make it at 6 characters. Let's make it longer. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Register. It's still not working. It should say your password is too short. I think I didn't change the text inside here. Yeah. Yeah, your password is too short. I forgot to change that. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Register. But nothing is happening. Let me see. Your username is too short. Your password is too short. Oh, this should be not show username alert. Should be show password alert. I forget to change that. So that's copied. Show password length alert. Right. This is the correct name for that. Correct name for it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Register. Your password is too short. Let's try it. Please make it at least 6 characters. Right, and you can have the same thing in your profile. Right now, when you update your profile, it's gonna tell you update successfully. You can change that into an alert inside here instead of like a real alert. Just make it as a text showing in the browser, in the profile. This is not good. You see, you can just instead of showing red, you can show a green one. Right, you can see, for example, let's give you the first half part. You need to do go to profile. After navbar, in the container, right before the form, you can put a div here says update successfully, and you can see class name, alert, and alert success. It's going to be green color. Right, it's going to show in like that here. But remember, you only display that when the update is success. Otherwise, it's going to show something in the red color or in orange color saying update failed, and just try it again, something like that.
Upload the video and we'll start it right after the break.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yes, sir, yeah. I'm stopping recording.